Sorry, can't make you one, but I can teach you how to draw one. Okay, today I'm going to use one-point perspective to draw a dock, and I'm looking at the dock from a position like I'm in the water looking towards the land. Then I'm also going to show you how to do the same dock from the other direction, that I'm on the land looking out towards the water. It's basically the same drawing with just a few modifications. So let's get started. We're going to start by drawing the horizon line. I'm using a ruler as a straight edge, and I come down about 1.5 inches from the top and draw a line all the way across. This is the horizon line. Everything above is the sky, everything below is the ground. Now on the horizon line I'm going to make a dot here. This represents the vanishing point, and this is going to show us where the lines will converge or meet at this vanishing point as they go back into space. And this is the sides of the dock will meet back at that dot. Okay, so next I want to draw where the sides of the dock will be. Now I'm going to do this lightly because I might be changing just a few things as we go along. And I'm going to start off, I'm going to draw slant out to the right and slant out to the left. Now we won't need to go all the way with this line because the dock, like I said, we're going to see the end of the dock here in the water. In fact, let's do that as our next step. Let's figure out how far down we want to come before we draw the edge of the dock. I think I'll come down about this far. It looks like it's about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches from the vanishing point, from the horizon line. And I don't have to draw the line all the way across. I'm just going to connect these two lines. And I'm trying to keep this parallel with the horizon line. So I'm going to connect these two side lines, the edges of this dock. So it makes a triangle is what it's going to do. Now, the top of the dock is not going to go off into space. It could, but I don't really want to go that far with it, all the way to the vanishing point. So I'm going to come down away about 1/2 inch away from the horizon line and draw a line that's parallel with the horizon line. So this is going to be the end of the dock that is on the land or near the land. Okay, so this is our shape for the dock. It's like a trapezoid. I can go ahead and clean up the drawing just a little bit. I'm going to erase the lines here at the top that we don't need, including the vanishing point. I'm going to redraw the horizon here just so we don't see that big dot on it. And then down here I want to erase the lines that are going out past the end of this dock. Okay, just like that. And if you drew those lightly, they'll be easier to erase. If you drew them dark, you still may see the lines even after we're finished. So that's something you just have to learn. Is the more drawing you do, the better you'll get at knowing how dark to make your lines to start with. Okay, I want to make the post for the dock, so I'm going to draw vertical lines. Now you could do this with a straight edge, but I think I'm just going to freehand these today. Might even make them slant out just a little bit on either side. Then I'm going to come up here. Now you can make several posts along the way. I'm just going to make 3 sets, one in the front, one in the middle, and one here in the back. You can make more than that if you like. Now this you won't see the bottom of it because it actually goes down below past our side of vision here on the dock. Okay, these are shorter than this top. Now you could also you could line these up with the vanishing point if you'd like to. I'm just going to use my eyes and decide how big I want to make them. But the idea is they start off taller here out at the end and they get shorter as they go towards the land. Okay, now let's go ahead and before we work more on these posts, I want to draw the planks for the dock. They're going to be closer together in the back, and as they come further out, they're going to look wider. Again, this creates the illusion of space within your picture. Things that are farther away look smaller, things that are close up look bigger, and it's the same thing with these boards. They're going to look bigger as they come out towards us. You want to be careful to try to keep it your line straight all the way down. This is getting a little bit crooked already, so I'm going to try to make some adjustment here so it's not real crooked by the time I get out to the end here. So each of these boards is going to be progressively wider, and by that I mean the width being this direction. Just creates a good sense or illusion of depth, like it goes back into space. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Alright, now you can at the end of these planks, in the the line is between the planks, you could make a little V out here at the end if you want to go back and make more detail. Just draw that edge separate, where you have like a, there's a little V there because that way you see there's a separation between the boards. And the longer the boards are there, the more wear and tear they'll have, and it will look more like there's gaps between them on the edge. So you might redo those outside edges. Okay, next, this last plank here, we're going to see the edge of it, so I'm going to draw a second line right below this so that it looks like this board has some thickness to it. Okay, now let's work with actually, before we do the post, let's go up here and we'll draw a line just below the top of the dock. I'm going to draw a line here. You can make it kind of wavy. This is the edge of the water where it meets the land. I'm going to kind of curve it down too, just a little bit. Depending on where it's at, there may be different curves along the edge of the water here. So just kind of freehand that, make the bank. You could also put something in the distance here. You could put mountains or hills or something farther away, just to help create that sense of space. Even though mountains are large, when they're far away they're going to look small. Okay, now for the posts themselves, I'm going to start out here at the end, and I'm going to make an oval that goes out away from the dock on either side. The first post is going to be larger. It's going to be wider, the width, and then as they go further back, they won't be as wide. Again, that creates that sense of space. So here's this one. I can start wider at the top and kind of make it go more narrow as it goes towards the bottom. That's something else you can do with that. Same thing over here. Just like that. And then at the bottom, what I'm going to do, I'm going to curve the bottom edge because it's going down into the water. And then you can even make maybe some ripples around the edge of that, where when you would walk on the planks there, it might shake the dock a little bit, and that would create ripples around the post. So you can make some curves around there like the water's been disturbed. If you do that, you want to go out and then make a sharp curve back this direction. Okay, and just one or two will kind of give that illusion. Alright, and if you don't want to do that, another option might be just to put a wave here across the bottom edge of it. That's another idea. Just kind of a ripple along the bottom edge. Okay, the second post back, same idea, except it's a little bit, it looks smaller and it's not as wide, it's narrower. We're doing the same process. You draw an oval and then you make a line that's parallel with the other edge of the post. And this goes down below. You can't see the bottom of it, but it'll go into the water down there too. And then far away, I'm going to make a very tiny oval and a second line there, and that again will give the illusion of space or depth within the picture. Okay, so here's a dock from the end using 1-point perspective, and now let's take a look at what it looks like if you're on the land looking out towards the water. Okay, here's what the same dock would look like if we were standing on the other end. So this is the ground down here, and then the dock is going, I use 1-point perspective to draw the dock going out into the water. And then for this one I also added some clouds in the sky, and I've shaded in my post here for a little bit of contrast. I could use color on this. You could color that in, or do more shading. For instance, on the planks, you could shade those in somewhere between a really light gray and a darker shading like the post. And that's how I draw a dock from the end using 1-point perspective. If there's something you'd like me to teach you how to draw, just email your idea to me at this address.